Many years ago, in the small village of UCHE, there lived a tall, slim girl named Amaka. Her long legs made her fastest walker in the entire village. People often joked that she didn't walk, that she flew. No one could understand how she managed to be everywhere at once, from naming ceremony to traditional weddings, even burials. Amaka was always present. Whether or not she was invited didn't matter. What mattered to her was showing up. Amaka lived with her mother and two younger siblings, Kamsi and Ngozi, in a small house at the edge of the village. They were not rich, but they lived humbly and managed with what they had. Kamsi and Ngozi were the type of girls who could wake up early, help their mother cook, and then follow her to the market to sell vegetables. Amaka, on the other hand, was different. She hated sitting in one place. The moment the cock crowed in the morning, Amaka would be out of the house, sometimes without even bathing or eating. Her legs itched to move. Her sisters would beg her, "Amaka, help us fetch water now." Or, "Amaka, stay and help us in the market today." But she would only smile and say, "If I don't attend that wedding, it won't be complete though." Sometimes she would come home late at night, tired and dust-filled, with stories of all she had seen during the day. Her mother would scold her, but it made no difference. Amaka had a spirit that refused to stay in one place. Over time, Amaka became known as the village's most popular face. Children would wave at her as she passed by, and old women would shake their head and say, "There she goes again." No celebration in UCHE or nearby villages was complete without Amaka in attendance. She danced at every wedding as though it was her own wedding. She clapped the loudest at naming ceremonies and laughed the hardest at village meetings. It got to a point where people started reserving seats for her at events, even when she wasn't invited. But not everyone was pleased with her behavior. Some elders said she was being raised without discipline. Others blamed her mother, saying she allowed her daughter too much freedom. Her sisters were often embarrassed, especially when people asked them why Amaka had no job or does not join them to sell at the market. Despite all the talk, Amaka remained the same. Her mother, tired of scolding her, decided to give her an advice instead of warning. "Since you like walking around so much," she said to Amaka one morning, "why not use it to make money? Take these fruits and hawk them. You will still move around the village as you like, but at least you will earn something at the end of the day." Amaka looked at her mother and thought it wasn't a bad idea. She could walk around the village and still have reasons to be seen. With her long legs and high energy, it felt like the perfect plan. The next morning, Amaka's mother gave her a wide tray filled with ripe bananas, oranges, and garden eggs. "Take these and sell them. Don't forget the prices of each item." "Oh, mother, don't worry. I won't forget. I have already memorized them." "Okay then," Amaka's mother said, waving at Amaka. "And Amaka, oh, please be focused." Amaka's mother iterated. Amaka balanced the tray on her head and began her usual rounds of walking around the village, but this time with a touch of purpose and responsibility. Her long legs carried her smoothly from one street to another. She shouted, "Banana, buy your oranges oh, sweet garden eggs for sale." The villagers were first surprised to see Amaka selling something. "Is that not Amaka the Waka Waka lady?" A lady said to her friend, pointing to Amaka. "Ah, I am surprised though." And luckily for Amaka that day, people bought from her and she felt proud. It felt good to be finally doing something useful. She imagined the money she would bring home that evening. Maybe her mother would stop worrying. Maybe her sisters would respect her more, she thought to herself as she walked towards the market square. But just as she passed near the village square, she heard a loud noise. It sounded like a crowd had gathered. Amaka paused. Her curiosity took over. She turned towards the noise. What is happening there? She wondered aloud. Her feet moved before her brain could stop them. She placed the tray gently by a mango tree and ran towards the sound. When she got to the square, she saw two famous wrestlers from different villages in a serious fight contest. The crowd was thick, the drumming loud, and the energy high. Amaka pushed through the crowd and found a spot in the front. She clapped, shouted, cheered them like everyone else. She forgot about the tray, the fruits, the money she was supposed to make. And in that moment, nothing else mattered. The wrestling match lasted for almost an hour. When it finally ended, Amaka suddenly remembered her tray and the money she had made that she had kept inside a small nylon on top the tray. Amaka gasped and pushed her way back through the crowd, running back to where she had left the tray. To her horror, the tray was gone. So were the fruits and the money she had sold for the day. Not even a single banana was left. She searched the area, asked passers-by, but no one had seen anything. Her eyes filled with tears. She sat on the bare ground and cried, "What will I tell Mama? That I left the fruit and tray to watch wrestling?" Her heart was heavy. Her feet, which had once felt light and free, now felt like burdens. Amaka dragged herself home slowly, tears streaming down her cheeks. When she got home, her mother and sisters who had returned from selling in the market were outside waiting. Her sisters looked tired, as well as her mother. "Where is the tray?" her mother asked. Amaka knelt down and began to cry. She told them everything. Her mother shook her head and went inside without saying a word. Her sister stood quietly, then walked away from her. That night, Amaka could not eat. She lay in her corner in the room, staring at the ceiling. She knew she had disappointed everyone, but she couldn't help herself. It was as if her leg had a mind of their own. For days, Amaka stayed at home, not because she wanted to, but because she felt ashamed. Her mother didn't say a word to her, but she was obviously filled with rage, and her silence was even worse. She wished her mother would scream at her and scold her for once, but for all she cared, her mother's eyes was blazing with fury. Her sisters barely spoke to her. The house was quiet. One afternoon, her mother sat beside her and spoke gently. "Amaka, I know you have a strong spirit, but if you continue like this, you will become useless to yourself and no man will want to marry you. You have no job, no skill, nothing. All you do is to walk aimlessly like a sheep without shepherd. Look at your sisters. Learn from them at least, if you cannot learn anything from me." Amaka listened, but the words hurt. She felt like a failure. She wanted to be better, but didn't know how. She knew she couldn't keep going from one event to another. Even she was tired of herself. But the next week, another wedding was announced. Okoro the palm wine tapper was marrying a girl from another village, 2 villages away. Amaka told herself she would not attend. She promised she would stay home. But on the wedding day, Amaka woke up before sunrise, washed quickly, and began the long journey. Her legs itched again, and she couldn't resist. She told herself she would just look and return early from the village. Amaka trekked several miles from her village to 2 villages away, just to attend a wedding she was not invited. She got to the wedding, sweating like she was poured water, panting, and to make matter worse, they had already finished serving food to all the guests. Hunger almost took her life that day as she trekked back to the village after the wedding. The day after Okoro's wedding, Amaka felt unusually tired. Her legs, which had always been strong and full of energy, now felt heavy. She sat on the wooden bench in front of their house and rubbed them gently. Maybe it's because I worked too much yesterday, she whispered to herself. But the tiredness did not go away. By evening, the heaviness had turned into swelling. Her legs were hot and thick like yam tubers. She tried to stand but almost fell. Panic filled her heart as she cried out, and Kamsi, her sister, rushed out of the house. "What is it?" Kamsi asked her eyes wide with fear. I can't feel my legs properly," Amaka said, her voice shaking. Ngozi joined them, and together they helped Amaka inside the house. Their mother came back from the market shortly after and was shocked to see her eldest daughter lying down with swollen legs. "What happened, Amaka?" she asked, touching Amaka's feet. They were hard and warm. She prayed in her heart that it was nothing serious. Amaka began to cry. "Mama, I don't know. I was fine this morning." That night, no one slept in Amaka's house. Amaka's condition worsened. Her mother rubbed hot balm on her legs, but nothing changed. She boiled herbs, soaked clothes in it, and placed it on Amaka's leg, but it brought no relief. The next morning, Amaka could no longer move. Her mother and sister carried her in a wheelbarrow to a native doctor in the next village. The man took one look at her and shook his head. "This one has stepped on something spiritual," he said. She has seen what she's not supposed to see." Amaka's heart skipped. Her mind went back to the strange thing she saw the week before, when she climbed a tree near the bush and saw Baba Chidi with a woman who was not his wife. They were laughing and touching each other and making out in the bush. She remembered how she had screamed by mistake from up the tree and they had seen her. Baba Chidi's eyes had locked with hers, cold and sharp. She had jumped down and run home that day, her heart beating fast. She now feared Baba Chidi had done something to her. Her mother, unaware of this secret, kept taking Amaka from one herbalist to another. Some said it was a spiritual attack. Others gave her bitter leaves to eat and bathe with. Nothing worked. The swelling remained. Amaka was now stuck in one place, something she had never imagined. From being the girl who walked the most, she had become the girl who could not walk at all. One evening, Amaka called her sisters close. Her eyes were red from crying, her face pale. "I want to tell you something," she said weakly. They sat beside her, curious. She swallowed hard. "You remember when I went to the bush near the old tree? I saw something," Amaka said. Ngozi leaned closer. "What did you see?" "I saw Baba Chidi with a woman who was not Mama Chidi, his wife. They were doing things, and when I shouted, they saw me. He looked at me with wicked eyes." Kamsi gasped. "Amaka, why didn't you tell us before?" "I was scared, but now I think he cursed me. That's why my legs are like this." The girls sat in silence. It was a heavy truth. They decided to tell their mother. When she heard, their mother became very angry. "How did you see them?" Her mother asked. I climbed the tree and saw them." "You see what I have been telling you? Someday, this your leg will put you in trouble. Now you have seen it." And so, Amaka's mother stormed out of the house to go confront Baba Chidi. But Baba Chidi denied everything. He swore by the gods that he had no hands in Amaka's illness. "She's just a restless girl," he said. "Maybe the gods want to punish her for moving too much. But the truth is, I have no hands in it," Baba Chidi said convincingly. Her mother came back home confused and bitter. She did not know what to believe. Each passing day, Amaka's situation got worse. She could no longer go to the toilet by herself. Her mother had to carry her in and out. Her sisters missed market days to help her clean and feed. Amaka cried day and night. She no longer thought about weddings or naming ceremonies. Even Kelechi and Amarachi's most talked about wedding. She could not attend. That was the least of her problem. but rather she thought about healing, about freedom, about her legs. One night, while others were asleep, she whispered a prayer. God, please help me now. I am sorry. I know I walk too much. I will never walk aimlessly again. I will stay in one place and be useful to myself. Please forgive me. She remembered all the times her mother warned her. She remembered all the events she had attended without invitation. She realized how much time she had wasted, and to make matter worse, she had been to so many places that she could not even remember where her problem was even coming from. The pain in her leg was nothing compared to the pain in her heart. Her mother watched her suffer and her heart break daily. She began to visit deeper forests, searching for powerful herbs, but nothing seemed to work. People began to say that Amaka had been cursed by the gods. One morning, Amaka's mother came home with a large bucket of black soap filled with herbs. The scent was strong, bitter, and earthly. Wash your legs with this, she said. Amaka was too tired to argue. She had drank a lot of herbal concoctions for the past weeks without any result, but she wanted to be healed by all means. Her sisters helped her soak her feet in the water. She winced as the heat and bitterness, but she endured the pain. They repeated the process morning and night for 3 days. On the third night, Amaka felt a strange tingling in her legs. The heaviness began to lift, and she could wiggle her toes again. By the fourth day, she stood up slowly. Her sister screamed in joy, and her mother only smiled. "You are healed," they shouted. Amaka was overwhelmed with gratitude. She knelt down and cried, "Thank you, Mama. Thank you, God." She promised never to waste her life again. But what Amaka did not know was that her mother had gone to a powerful herbalist and explained everything. She had begged the herbalist to help teach her daughter a lesson. The herbalist had given her a harmless herb that would make Amaka's leg swell and another leg that would cure her once the lesson was learnt. Her mother had watched silently for weeks. She had seen Amaka's sorrow, her regrets, her promise to change, and then she gave her the cure. Her mother was behind it all, but she kept it as a secret that might go with her to her grave. As the sun rose the following day, Amaka stood outside, broom in her hands, sweeping the compound. Her mother watched from the window, a small smile dancing on her lips. Kamsi and Ngozi, her sisters, could hardly believe their eyes. "Amaka, you are really up early," Ngozi teased. "I have a lot to make up for," Amaka said with a shy smile. It felt strange to her, staying in one place, doing house chores like her sisters, but she had made up her mind. The pain she experienced had taught her a deep lesson. Her legs were her gifts, but she had used them carelessly. Now, she was determined to use them wisely. As the weeks went by, Amaka took most of her house chores seriously. She even followed her mother and sister to the market to help sell tomatoes and okra. Villagers who saw her were surprised. Is that not Amaka the Gallivanta, the celebrity Waka Waka? She now follows her mother to the market. Hey, wonder shall never end. But Amaka ignored their comments. She knew who she was and who she wanted to become now. One sunny afternoon, while at the market, Amaka noticed a young lady braiding hair under a small mango tree. The woman's hand moved so fast, twisting and tucking, as they styled a little girl's hair into a neat cornrow. Something in Amaka stirred. She stood and watched for over an hour, fascinated. After the woman finished, Amaka walked up to her. "Auntie, please, can I learn this work?" The woman looked up, surprised. "You want to learn how to make hair?" "Yes, ma. I want to be useful." The lady smiled. "I am Chioma. If you are serious, come tomorrow. Bring a comb and a thread." Amaka went home excited. She told her mother, who encouraged her. The next morning, Amaka dressed early and packed a small bag with comb and hair tools she borrowed from her sister. She spent the whole day learning how to hold hair, part it and twist it. By the end of the week, she could plait simple styles. Chioma was impressed. "You are a fast learner," she said. Amaka smiled. However, a few weeks later, the village was buzzing with news. One of the richest men in the next town was coming to UCHE to bury his mother. It was going to be a ground burial. Music, food, guests from all over. Amaka's legs tingled. Her old self stirred within her. She imagined the big canopies, the dancing, the crowd, the music, the food. That morning, as her sister dressed for the market, Amaka stood in front of the mirror, brushing her hair slowly, as her mind was already a battlefield. The thought of attending the burial ceremony fought her like a lion. "Amaka," Kamsi called, "you are not thinking of going to that burial, are you?" Amaka laughed nervously. "No, I just want to see the crowd a little." Ngozi shook her head. "That's how it starts." Their mother walked in and stared at her. "Amaka, remember the pain you felt. Remember the tears, oh." Those words hit her hard. She dropped her brush and sighed. "I am not going anywhere." She picked up her practice doll head and continued braiding. It wasn't easy, but she was learning. She was learning discipline and to say no. As Amaka stopped going from place to place, event to event uninvited, many villagers began to accept the new her. Some praised her for transformation, but a few doubted her change. "She is pretending," one market woman said. "Give her time, she will start roaming again." One day, as Amaka fetched water from the stream, she overheard two women gossiping about Mama Ifeoma's son. "I heard he stole from his uncle and ran away," one said. The old Amaka would have joined them, added more spice to the story, and even spread it around as she walked around the village. But this time, she walked past them without saying a word. When she got home, she told her mother, "Mama, I had something, but I don't want to talk about it." Her mother smiled. "My daughter, that is wisdom. You have truly changed. Not everything you hear you say. More reason why you should guard yourself on places you go to." Amaka knew that gossip was one of the things that kept her moving from one place to another. Now, she was careful with her tongue. Chioma, the hairstylist, had a customer who wanted to braid her daughter's hair, but she was not chanced enough. And Amaka offered to do it. "Auntie, I can do it for her then," Amaka offered. Chioma looked at her. "Are you sure?" "Yes, I can help." Amaka plaited the girl's hair neatly, even adding a little design at the front. The woman was so impressed and gave Amaka money to appreciate her. Amaka's eyes widened. "You are paying me?" "Not really. I just want to show appreciation to you. You deserve it. You did a great job." That evening, Amaka went home smiling. It was the first time she earned money from her skill. She gave her mother part of the money and kept the rest for herself. Her sisters cheered her, praising her skill. From that day, she began taking small hair appointments. School girls, women going to meetings, and even young brides would come to her house to get their hair done and pay her for her services. Amaka became well known in the village as an hairstylist, not Amaka the Gallivanta. Amaka was no longer the girl who ran after every noise in the village. She was now focused, determined, and slowly became a woman with purpose. Thank you for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed watching. Share with us in the comment section the valuable lessons you have learned from this story as we interact. Like this video please, and kindly share this video to your loved ones. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Until I come your way again with another story. For now, from me, it is bye.